Consistency is not a linear line. Hello? Welcome back to my 90 days of lessons from me to you. And today is day 31, which should be day 32, but I missed day 31 yesterday. So I'm just going to make this 31. And today's lesson is that consistency is not a linear line. Um, I'm not going to lie to you guys, not really feeling it today. A little bit tired, but mentally, a little bit mentally tired, but we're gonna push through it. And yeah, so consistency is not a linear line. Just like today and yesterday. Yesterday I literally missed a video, and today I don't feel like doing a video. Consistency is not a linear line where you're always going to feel like you're operating at 100%. I'm not operating at a got a little cold on me. I'm not operating at 100% today at all. My brain feels a little bit foggy. My body feels a little bit, I don't want to say lethargic, but lazy. I don't really feel like doing much. Like, honestly, everything in my mind was telling me, you know what, you missed yesterday, just missed today. You don't have to do a video today. Don't do a video today. And also, I want to acknowledge that we're back in the my mom's entertainment room. Um, yeah, I kind of wanted to get away from the computer today. I'm gonna take the risk and upload this from wherever I upload it. Hoping it transfers to my computer. But yeah, like consistency is not oh, I'm always here and then I'm gonna be looking like this. This is Monday, this is Tuesday, this is Wednesday, this is Thursday, this is Friday, this is Saturday, this is Sunday. Like consistency is not a linear line that you go through. There's ups and downs with consistency. There's days where you miss with consistency. And I know that sounds like, oh, how are you consistent if you miss a day? Consistency is always showing up, right? That's what consistency is. Like the literal definition of consistency is always showing up and doing what you need to do every single day. And I know that I've spoken about that at nausea, right? I've spoken about that well, not every single day, but a lot of days. Like a lot of lessons have included that showing up every single day for yourself, whether you want to or not. But you do also need to acknowledge, brother, there are some days where you're just you either can't because of things that are beyond your control, or you just mentally and physically just do not, like, you are repulsed by the idea, right? I'm always saying don't let your mood control your actions. But dude, sometimes you got to. Your mood is there for a reason. Don't let it be the determining factor every single day or majority of your life. Like for me, I think I always say that a good rule of thumb in life is 80-20, right? If say you're in a relationship, right? If a person has 80% of what you need or what you are looking for in a person, that 20%, you can just get it along the way. Like it's not in the sense of trying to change a person, but like communicating, saying the things that you want, the things that you expect, and things of that nature, right? Like that's the 80-20 rule, right? You can't expect 100% all the time. Again, a relationship, for example, you're not going to be able to give 100% in a relationship every single day. You're not going to be able to do that every single day. Now, should you try and show for your partner every single day? Yes. But sometimes it's going to be like 40-60, 20-80. Sometimes you're giving 20% and they're giving 80%. Sometimes you're giving 80%, they're giving 20%. That's why I always say the whole 50-50 thing, that's not a real thing. That's not a real thing in relationships unless you literally mathematically split it down the middle. That's the only time 50-50 is a real thing. But a relationship is never a 50-50 ever. Like a relationship that matters is never really 50-50. So, it's the same thing with consistency. You're never going to be 100% giving your consistency. Sometimes you're at 80%. If you give all 80 of that percentage, you're at 100% for the day because that's the max that you have for the day. Right now, I'm giving it probably like I'd classify this as like 20-30%, but that's all I have for the day, right? I'm just not really here at the moment. I didn't even really feel like eating this morning, right? But it's like, you know, I have this dream. I have this thing that I want to do. And I'm not going to let the fact that I missed one day stop me, because then that's quitting. Like people always say, I mean, to a degree, I don't think the true opposite of consistency is inconsistency. I mean, I know like literally it is, but as long as you're consistent to a certain amount, right? Actually, no, that's stupid. I'm gonna stop. I was gonna say the opposite of consistency is quitting. That's not true. If you're consistent enough, you'll get to where you need to get to. Again, with that 80-20 rule. If you're consistent 80% of the time, say like throughout the week, right? I'm consistent 5 days out of the 2 week, 5 days out of the 7 days of the week. Versus somebody who's consistent like 2 days out of the 7 days of the week. Who are you gonna be like, oh, like they're working for it, they're showing up every day? Like it's gonna give you the illusion that I'm showing up every single day. Now, sure, the guy who's showing up 100% every single day, all 7 days, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, like yeah. But eventually, what kind of happens? And I spoke about this with some other creators the other day, is that you're gonna experience burnout, right? Doing things like this, where it's like you have to come up with these ideas and you need to talk about it and discuss those things. You do experience burnout. I've experienced burnout, not with this, but you know, for those of you who may not know, I make skits, right? And I can't remember how many months, but it was from between July, August, September, October, November, December, for 6 months, 6 straight months. I posted almost every single day, 3 skits, almost every single day, right? And that's because I was like, okay, I want this. I'm hungry for this. I'm consistent. I'm going to keep doing that every single day. Now it's more so I'm like, okay, if I have because I would force myself to do 3 skits every single day. Like, I understand that when you want something and you're hungry for something, go after it with all, your power and ability. But you also have to acknowledge the fact that if it becomes such a chore to where your mind is burnt out, especially being in a creative sense where I have to think of an idea, I have to think of a skit, I have to think of a script, right? And then I have to actually enact said skit. And then I'm doing editing and things of that nature. Now, granted, it's not crazy. Like, that's not a lot of work to say, but it's mentally it's a lot, because that's a lot. That's a that's a lot that you're putting on your mental load, especially for 6 months, almost every single day, 3 times a day, right? And now I'm kind of at the point where I'm like, like, am I starting over? Yes, but I'm gonna go back to the 3 skits a day, but that's mostly because I have those ideas backlogged that, one, I can't post anymore because TikTok won't take those videos anymore, which is kind of stupid. But I think there's also a thing with consistency where you need to find a healthy middle ground. Find the healthy middle ground of where you're consistent and comfortable, right? I know we always dread this idea of being comfortable. There's nothing wrong with being comfortable. There comes a problem when you're complacent. When you're complacent about the things in your life, that's when you have a problem. Never become complacent. You should be comfortable in your life. That is the entire point of trying to live a life. So you're comfortable with your life. Never get complacent with your life, right? That's the difference between I might make that into its own topic one day. I might make that tomorrow's video topic. Comfortability versus complacency. I don't know if comfortability is a word. I think it is. But yeah, man. When it comes to consistency, find your comfort zone, but never become complacent. So that's today's video. Like I said, I'm mentally drained. I ain't gonna cap to you. And I got a date later. It's the first date, so that's also nerve wracking. I get anxious, a lot of anxiety on me. But you know, as always, whatever you do in life, put God first. Love yourself before you love anybody else. And if there's somebody out there that loves you, I love you. But there is somebody out there that loves you. And today is day 31. And I love you. And I will see you guys tomorrow.